far longer, so I'd like to pass you to my best man, Rory, who can't wait to stand up here in front of you. He's also worried about his waistcoat. Right, here we go. I'll be an anti-climber. Right guys, first things first, I'd like to thank you all for coming here today to celebrate this beautiful day, the marriage of Mr. and Mrs. Ashton. I'm sure you will agree, it's been a beautiful day so far. Now, a great philosopher once wrote that the best man's speech should be as long as the groom makes love. So I'd like to thank you all for coming. Have a good evening. I'd first of all like to make a quick toast to Ken Mich for all the hard work and effort that has gone on behind the scenes for us all here today. So to Ken Mich, raise your glasses please. Ken Mich. Right, ladies and gentlemen, every now and then we get a rare opportunity to speak of a man who is witty, charming, good looking and intelligent. Although I really shouldn't talk about myself today, as it is their day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rory, and I would like to say how honoured I am to be the joint best man here today, as I know Kenny and Michelle have a lot of good friends, and it must have been a difficult decision, but the right one. Originally, it was just Kirk as the best man, but when he started asking people which butlins they wanted to go to for the stag do, mine, Heather, Bolton, Regis, it was at that stage that I got promoted. This is my first time as a best man, and I don't really know what a best man has to do. So I did some research online, on the computer, googled a few things, and found out what the best man was responsible for. I was in charge of the stag do, which was in Ibiza, and that went really well. I'm in charge of this speech, and I think later on this evening I'm supposed to shag the maid of honour. Also, as part of my research, I discovered that according to tradition, I'm supposed to sing the groom's praises and tell you about his many good points. And I'm very sorry to say, but I can't sing, and I won't lie. I've known Kenny for many years now. We met at a very young age through various activities in Bath. Saturday sports at the Bath Sports Centre, Rollermania, down the ramps, and playing in the same footy teams. Then me and Kenny went to the same senior school, and he was always excellent at everything. His work, socialising and sport, even if he was always the last to be picked. Kenny, as most of you know, is now a scaffolder, and if you need some scaffolding done, as I have done in the past, then you can expect Kenny and his gang to turn up and do a good, reliable job. They all turn up with a 6-pack of Stellas. It was a Friday, huh? And when Kenny gets out of the lorry, you can't help but notice that the rips on his t-shirt are all in the right places, showing off the tattoos. Kenny's vocabulary has become somewhat legendary over the years. He once walked into my house with his new phone and asked if I had Wi-Fi. It didn't click until about 10 minutes later that he was actually on about Wi-Fi. Another occasion springs to mind at Moreland Road Video Shop. We walked around the corner from Kenny's to grab a video. Kenny turned around in the shop and said, "Let's get Demon House." It wasn't until I got closer that I saw the picture on the case, and it was a demon above a house, and it was called Demon House. We have spent some quality times and experiences together growing up, which will never be forgotten. The evenings at Arlington Road, which is when Kenny and Michelle first got together. Getting picked up in Gary's Space Wagon to play footy for Park Sports and TNT. Most of the team are here today. The time when you crashed Mark Morgan's moped with Rob Gore on the back after saying you were a motocross champion. When we went skiing with the school and you decided to hire the school skiing clothes, which had "Here for the Snow" written all over them. Meeting at the bench opposite Gill's at 6. The cold evenings at Western Rec, getting garmed up to go to Club X, the Babylon days, the Thursday pounder pint nights down at Caddy's, which Kenny still likes to do. The mental house parties up at mine, the Domino's takeaways at your house, the crazy holiday in Magaluf, and more recently, the stag do in Ibiza, which could have been a complete disaster. After someone's direct debits leading up to the holiday kept getting declined, Luke Joyce. One of the best men not coming till the last minute, Kirk Ashton. Someone not having a passport until 12 hours before the flight, Liam Crooks. But after months of drama and stress, we got there in the end. I would just like to thank Darryl Bow. His help arranging the stag do didn't go unnoticed. You can watch the film of the stag do later on in the clubhouse, courtesy of RCD Productions. I've also known Michelle for a very long time. We grew up in Weston together and met at primary school. She spent many years chasing me around the playground. She was always ahead of the game at school, very intelligent and mature, but unfortunately, Michelle was different from all the other 5-year-olds. She was 11. Michelle, you look stunning as you walk down the aisle this afternoon, and who would have thought, after all these years of knowing you, that I'd be stood here today making this speech for both you and Kenny. It's not only a lovely day for the golden couple, but also for the 2 families that have now joined as one. Gary, Sandra, Ray, Debbie, you now have 6 lovely grandchildren between you. And to the brothers and sisters with Kenny and Michelle, Ben, Kirk, Kim, Kat and Tiff, I've grown up with you and your families, and I know that you've always been there for them and always will. I would just... hang on. Kenny and Michelle have been together since Christmas Eve 1999, which is now 12 years ago. Kenny then proposed to Michelle on her 21st birthday when we went to Bournemouth. It was very emotional. In fact, Dan Reeves was so touched by Kenny's surprise engagement that he started crying.
Yeah.
That's it. Kenny and Michelle now live in Weston with their 2 adorable children, Amelia, who is 4, and Ruby, who is 2, and another on the way. I would just like to say that I'm proud to be a friend of Kenny's. He's always been a good friend to me and many others, most of you here today. His presence can light up a room. He is a good laugh to be around. His gift of the gab has got us both out of many sticky situations. He's a good father to his 2 children and will always be there for his family. We have spent some great times growing up together, and I hope we will do in the future. Michelle has turned into a lovely young lady, and she has many qualities. She is a good mother, a good daughter. Her generosity is beyond the level that I've ever seen in anybody else. She helps people in need with less ability than herself, which is why I'm so glad she found another one of my best friends, Kenny. We all love you both. And I just want to say that Kenny, you're a lovely groom, and you've married Michelle, who is beautiful, intelligent, articulate, funny, warm, loving and caring. She deserves a good husband. Let's hope one day she finds one. Last of all, I'd like to raise a massive toast to 2 of the most beautiful, caring and loving people I've ever had the pleasure to have in my life. So, could you all please stand and raise your glasses to Kenny and Michelle. No, we don't want to do it. Do you want to say a few words?